the tape. All right, so today's date is July 27, 2019. And this is Sonny G.
And this is Chanley.
And so this is our playing around. We just got a microphone. It's called the Snowball. It's kind of cool looking. The company's Blue. That's the name of the company. So it looks weird to have a word blue in front of a white looking round ball microphone. But why in the world did we even buy a microphone? Jan, what's the whole point, right?
I mean, we're thinking about doing some podcasts. Trying to get the art group out there and trying to open it up to other people and just let everyone, because we're more than just like painters and artists and everything. We kind of enjoy talking about how we feel, what we're doing here exactly. And
talk about how we feel. Oh my God! And we're guys, so we're feelers. You say? That's who we are.
I'd say that we're pretty interesting in what we do. Not trying to sound too arrogant. I mean, we can have some in-depth conversations about, what we're actually doing and why we're doing it.
Side note, see how low that is right there, Chen?
Yeah.
I think you need to definitely face that. This probably needs to be closer to us. We may end up having to get our own, another one. Both have one, and we literally put our mouths to it. That may what we have to do.
Yeah.
But but we can help that with let's see, bumping up like compression or something. Maybe.
I like to look everywhere when I'm talking. I can't. Sometimes I just have to.
Well, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. We're playing around with highs and lows right now. Let's see, amount, highs, mids, frequency. I'm playing around with the levels right now, trying to see if we can get this thing bumped up so that you can hear us.
Ooh.
Now, why would you want to do that, right? All right, well, let's just keep going like that, and we'll listen to it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's ramble for a few minutes, and then we'll go from there. Here's what I would say. You mentioned a couple things a while ago. Number one, the art group. What is the art group? It's something that came out of my head a little over a year ago, and when I first started trying to sell my artwork, there were a lot of people who just tried to just pump my brain up with, "Oh, you're so good. You're gonna use all you gotta do is just put it out there, and people will just eat it up." And that's not the way it went. And I found myself like so alone, even though at home, when I had the studio set up in my living room at my apartment, and my sons would be there, and we'd paint and do whatever we wanted to. That was incredible. So I think I took a step back and said to myself, I don't want to do this by myself. I want to do this surrounded by other creative people, and not just visual artists necessarily. Somebody, or at least not just somebody that paints the same way I do. In fact, that would be boring. And even you guys, my sons, when y'all paint, it's not the same. And that's, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for that. My fear is that you would paint like me, and I wouldn't want you to be like that. I want you to do your thing. That's where the idea of the art group came from. And then I came up with that logo, the A logo with the I inside of it. So for me, that sort of mind's eye, wink, wink, pun intended, at a mind's eye, which is where, for me, creativity comes from. And I've had some people come into my life that has shared lots about things like that. And one person in particular who's come into my life that she has taught me so much about that. And so this whole art group idea was born out of that. And then this past Christmas, Chan Lee, who's here with me now, said, "Dad, I think I want to start selling my art." And that's when, boom, I knew I want to relaunch the website, relaunch the sunnyg.com website, but I want to do it with this as a part of it, this art group as the main thrust, the art group of Sunny G.
The only problem with me wanting to sell is that I didn't really have anything to sell. like not until like recently. Most of mine was just kind of, I don't want to like bash on expressionism, but it's all been expressionist crap. I mean, I haven't really had like good stuff until, I mean, my most recent ones where I did a French horn. That was like my first real abstract one because it wasn't just nonsense. It was actually based around a central thing. So I've been trying to do more of that, not just say, hey, it can be whatever you want. Like my most recent one is the Pianos in Space. It's very self-explanatory.
Yeah, it may be self-explanatory in the title, but looking at it is so much more impactful because it's on 3 different canvases, and you look at it and go, oh my God, I really can see like these really cool horns wrapped around this piano in space. By the way, you can see all this stuff on your site, chanlee.com, which is inside of the art group. Yeah, and don't shy away from looking at those kind of things when we reference visual stuff that you go, oh, I'm lost on what does he mean? Well, that please go look at it for sure. Jen, you might not have had an actual piece to sell when you say, hey, I want to start selling my art, but that's where the entrepreneurial heart, spirit showed up, and then the drive to get this creativity out of you, to how something needed to come from somewhere, and that's what I think what we're trying to say even in this whole podcast idea here. Something's inside and we want to let it out, we want to get it out, and sometimes it maybe even explain why a decision was made as to why a piece was done a particular way. And it may that way it may mean more to you when you see it, or you may not care and not give a crap, and that's fine. But at least for us, this is a way, again, as feelers, as artists, that we can hopefully allow you to get to know us better. That probably, in a nutshell, is what this podcast is about, and. The topics won't always be art. In fact, most of the time it'll just be real life, which is where art comes from. My tagline for Sunny G is life on a canvas. I came up with that years ago, and it wasn't just a marketing brand or marketing tag. It really and truly is exactly what I wanted to do with my art. I wanted to be able to have paintings have real depth and real meaning. Not just paint something about life, painting an orange or painting a tree or a house or whatever. I'm painting real life stuff, but I want life itself to exist within the brushstrokes, within how the lines show up. That's what I wanted, and I think this might help be able to explain that this whole verbal rambling, as I'm probably going to refer to it way more than once, is going to build on that. You may find it much more interesting that you saw this painting and saw that just looks like a bunch of color. But then when I start telling you, like some of my pieces, I've got a series of pieces called Energy. I can't wait to start describing and talk to you about those pieces. That's definitely on the list. When you hear that you might think this Sunny is a little weird. are odd on that one. And I will not disagree with you, because those things, they scare me sometimes. Quite honestly, they really do. It's a something that if I didn't have this, I feel sorry for people who don't have what I have, and who don't have a paintbrush and can't just let it out like that. Because if I couldn't let those things out, to feel those things trapped inside of me, it makes my heart heavy to even think about that. But that's the design and the purpose. I don't know that we're just going to ramble for hours and hours at a time. In fact, it would get kind of boring. I would be tired of listening to myself like that. But I do feel like you get a chance to get to know us sitting in front of the Snowball inside the studio, the actual studio that has the very pieces that are sitting on our website for sale, but they're sitting in here just waiting for somebody to eat them up. And at some point maybe we'll get some pictures and allow you to go to the site and be see specifically what we've got going. But anyway, and we'll tag using social media, use all of our Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff for you to be able to get to and see. But for now, you just get to hear and wonder. So, Chan, what's next after you finish Pianos in Space? Because you've been working on this one for about 6 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, around Christmas, right? Maybe 7 months. What is next? Because after this one, I think it's going to be difficult for you to let this one go. At least let it go for anything less than a lot of money. Because you really have fell in love with it.
A lot of time and energy.
Oh, gosh.
I would stand in front of it 8 hours at a time, just working on the piano itself.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. What's next for you? What's the next thing? Do you know what's next?
I mean, I've thought about doing more space series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, space itself, it always interested me, but
you have always talked about that as a little kid.
Yeah.
How old are you now, Chan Lee?
15 years old.
15. Oh my gosh, I feel so old. I'll be in a couple of days. I'll be 48. So
he really is an old man.
You can do the math.
Yeah.
I started this chase to this dream quite late in my life. It's just not something I've painted and had creative juices flowing throughout my life. I should say, better said. I don't think my mom knew what to do with me. I really, truly don't think Mom knew. I would break out of comic books. I would, try to draw the way the scenes were, or out of magazines, and I would use those and just draw them. But after that, we didn't have money to spend on tubes of paint or brushes or anything like that. And that stuff's not cheap, that's for sure. I took all the art classes I could take in school, ate them up. And then thought I was supposed to do the real world, and that's what everybody does. You grow up, you put away kid stuff, and then you go be an adult somewhere. And eventually that just wasn't satisfying. The soul wanted what it wanted, and I'm very thankful that I was able to give my 3 sons, Chan's my middle son, the opportunity to paint if they want it. And my youngest doesn't. Yeah. Ty doesn't at all.
He's kind of gotten more into the acting scene.
He's very much a drama kid.
He's very dramatic. Yeah.
He mentioned the other day we're gonna bring him in sometime. He'll have to talk about this himself. But he mentioned the other day about wanting to take drama classes when he gets into high school, and he's still got another year in middle school. And we all looked at him like, yes.
There's a theater class at the middle school.
Is there really?
I didn't know until 8th grade.
Shut up. No, that's okay. No, he has to do that. We have to push him.
And when I was in 8th grade, I was like, what are those kids doing on the stage? Like, that's the theater class. I was like, No, we
Well,
don't have a theater class.
that is awesome. Oh my gosh.
I never noticed it on like anything.
Oh well, that has to happen. It would be perfect.
They never did any showings. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
they never actually acted out any plays or anything.
Well, maybe it's basic, working on those basic
yeah.
tools, and if that's the case, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. So good for that.
Yeah.
Well,
all of us
perfect.
have kind of our own. We are all like very creative. Just we choose to express it through different ways.
I think that's a fair statement.
Like throughout my childhood, I've had other things to do, like the video game Minecraft. You kind of
God, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, you can use it to like explain. It's hard to explain, but you can use it to build.
I'm pretty sure you don't
everything.
have to explain. People probably know that stuff.
No, it's kind of had a bad rep recently.
Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, and Ty, he used to eat that up too. I mean, he's always thought. Lately, he's thought that he's not really creative until he started thinking about drama. But yeah, we knew that he was creative because he used to play that game all the time and do all that kinds of stuff. And me and Dawson, I don't know, we both are in the painting scene.
Who's Dawson?
Dawson is our older brother. Well, my older brother. He's 18. He's kind of doing his own thing right now, trying to figure himself out.
Yeah, he's trying to figure himself out. He's headed towards the Navy. Just graduated high school and headed towards the Navy. We will definitely have him in here. I love, has definitely kind of grown his own way of thinking and sprouted his wings for sure. I'm proud of that. Of course, obviously, as a dad, it scares me too. But at the same time, I'm proud of it. But we'll definitely get him in here too. He's painted and sketched and all that stuff. But he's headed towards the Navy, which means he has to focus a good bit of time in that world. We are kind of a now that I think about it. Remember when we came up with this logo called the G Boys? Gray's the last name. The G in Sonny G is for Gray, and I know my name's Sonny Gray. It's an oxymoron, right? That's the part where you
Gray
laugh.
Being boring.
That's the part where you laugh. But
Gray being boring, but we're not really all that boring.
Not at all. So we came up with this logo, the G, that has this really modern look to it. We used to do posters, movie posters, where in Photoshop I would take us and put our faces on characters that would turn you into.
We used to do those like movies.
We used to make movies. Oh, it was awesome, dude. We used to do like Halloween movies in particular.
Halloween
that was
Happy.
kind of our
mess
jam.
up. We're supposed to do Happy Halloween.
We could have a whole nother discussion some other time, but we will bring up during Halloween. We will bring up Halloween Happy for sure. But that's something we've done all especially the last 10-ish years, 9 years, where we've kind of grown into this. How can we creatively express and do something, which makes sense for this to happen, for this podcasting to happen, because it's another way for us to express. We're constantly trying to figure out how we can do that.
I didn't start painting until 7th grade. Was that it? 7th or 8th grade?
Which is how long ago? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep one night. Sometimes I've just I had trouble sleeping. I had all these emotions trapped inside that I felt like I needed to get out. I didn't know how. So I picked up a paintbrush and went to Dad's little studio that he had set up. I just picked up one of his canvases and started. Basically, it was doodling, but with paint, and I got it all out, and then I was like, this is actually really fun. And I noticed a dramatic difference from whenever I was painting without meaning, just because I wanted to paint, and then right now when I was painting and trying to express how I was feeling at the time, it was a dramatic difference.
Isn't that amazing?
And then
to just do it because you're told to do, or because it's assigned, versus it actually coming from a place. Mm-hmm. Right?
I was I got really excited about it, and I kind of cranked out 2 or 3 more, and I don't know. Those are really good. Those were good for early-ish, because I felt really good about them. I have them hanging up in my room actually right now. But
I love it.
yeah. I've done some more, I've played around more, and right now I'm getting more serious about it and expressing how I feel. With my current ones, I'm kind of expressing how I love music, because I've always been kind of into that. I played French horn and mellophone in middle school, and in elementary school I actually did guitar. And right now I'm kind of doing ukulele-ish, because I've run out of all those instruments. But I've always really loved music, and so right now I'm with my Pianos in Space and the French horn one. I've expressed how I love it into that by basically just painting the instruments themselves. I wish I could do it in some other way, like how the music actually is, not just the instruments themselves, but I've got to figure that out soon. I'm done.
I was waiting.
No,
I love it. I think what I hear from you when you say that is that you still have a passion for music, and within that passion for music, you couldn't just put the instrument down and walk away. Even though I guess technically that's what you did, but maybe instead of just walking away, you set it up to paint it. I don't know. It sounded dorky the way I said that. I think what I'm trying to say is music. How many times do we paint? We put our headphones on, find a new album that's out, or an old album, a band that is particular, from 21 Pilots to for me like Justin Timberlake, AJR. You've gotten Elton John going here recently.
Yeah, I love Elton John.
Queen has been with the movie Bohemian Rhapsody happening.
Yeah.
We're all over the place with the styles.
We've got a very
I'll do some some electronic stuff that you hear the stuff going.
I've never liked that.
Tron Legacy, the movie Tron Legacy, that album, I swear I can put that album on and I just go into a different place.
You've played that so much.
I can't help it.
I'm so sick of Tron.
It does something to me. But the point is,
I can't watch the movie
the
anymore.
connection. Stop it. The connection between artistry and getting the stuff out. In music, the connection is it's not like an option. I've painted in silence before, because
silence is not nearly as fun.
It's just not nearly as fun, and it shows up, and I can do it. I'm a professional. I can make something happen if I absolutely have to. I get that.
I actually think that's a really good painting idea. Painting in silence and painting about the silence.
It could be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's your next one. There's your next one.
Yeah.
Boom. Out of that. Oh, now we're done. Now we can turn it off.
It'll be a very simple canvas with nothing on it.
Oh, it's the black with the white dot.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
That's the one that makes millions, though. I mean,
oh god,
just
I love
scribble
it. And you have to name the dot Snowball after
Yeah.
the microphone that we have. Actually, Snowball Ice is the name of this one, just to be specific. So, but anyway, I just the connection. I'm working on a live show that'll be coming up late September at Greer, South Carolina. Their city is launching an art space that has both visual and live art as this building space. In other words, you'll be able to go there and see theatrical musicals and things like that, but also as an artist, as a visual artist, be able to paint there, and there's kilns there for pottery and all that kind of stuff. And then outside, there's a couple little small ponds that you can walk around and you can find some inspiration, a little outdoor amphitheater and all that kind of stuff. It's an incredible place. And I was fortunate and honored invited to be a part of the launching weekend. And as this show goes over and over in my head, as it's building itself in my head, it's always connected to music. Always. In fact, I've gone back to just digging into what's out there and seeing what I could use. I know what I want to do, and I'm building the songs with it. So as this show unfolds, it'll be timed to music and all those things, because each stroke from my paintbrush will be inspired or pushed or driven via music. It will all fit together. The lighting to the way the canvas is, to the number of canvases, and on and on and on and on. It all fits together, which is, again, back to the very beginning of this conversation, and that is the art group.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. And so the invitation is this, from Sonny G and Chan Lee.
You've been quite worried about the show because of Jared. He's also
there's another local artist guy he's an incredible artist, and I have been worried.
We've been
worried, and you guys,
we've been trying to teach you.
You're trying to speak some good stuff to me about.
Be the next Jared, to be the first Sonny G.
Be the first Sonny G, and those are such incredible words. It shows up in lines and movie lines that we'll watch.
We literally watched 2 movies, and both of them.
And both of them had talked about the whole "be who you are," and it's like I can breathe, because I have such respect for this artist.
You've been so tense lately. Just need to relax a little bit.
Well, of course. But I think that speaks to the art group idea that was born, all those months ago, over a year and a half ago. That I want to have respect and pay homage and talk and rub elbows and be creative with, be inspired by, and help inspire other artists inside of a group that doesn't have any kind of catfighting of I'm better than you, or downward talking, anything like that. No. This is all about flowing. That sweet friend, that's a word that was taught to me, and vibration. It's another word that was taught to me. This is all about having the vibration be up and positive, and to be the best you, to be the best Sonny G. For me, that will mean that the art group itself will have that kind of openness and respect and humility, confidence, yes, but the ability to say, hey, we're going to ultimately influence each other. I just described to you forever a taking, it seems like, about music inspiring this live show coming up. If that's not inspirational to each other as far as artists, that's the very definition of it. So my point is, this podcast is another way to try and say, hey, the art group is here, be a part. Even if you're just sitting there listening and just enjoying the ramblings of some creative guys, a couple of creative guys, then awesome. Maybe in your life you get some inspiration or some good vibes from it. Then that's fantastic. But if you are an artist in any form or fashion and wanna hang out with, and we'd love to have you and talk and pick your brain and
become a part of the art
see the
group.
heart and just join the art group with us. Go with us.
A group with only 2 people.
Yeah, no, it's not just 2 people. So I know it's bigger than us, and that this drive to be a better artist, to be a better father, to be a better person is what really truly this is all about. And in the process, crank out some really cool artwork, and watch my sons, in this case particularly my son, just blossom and grow. What's the Sunflower song go?
I don't really listen to that.
It was in the Spider-Verse.
I haven't watched that.
The Spider-Verse movie. You haven't seen it. We'll have to watch it tonight.
Yeah.
But in the Spider-Verse, when he tells him to how he can be the better him, because that movie's all about these different versions of Spider-Man. The story goes that there's one Spider-Man. Peter Parker got bit, and there's the one Spider-Man. But then they find out in all these different universes, there's not just one. There's all kinds. And so this kid is like, how is he going to be a better Spider-Man? He's not. He's going to be his. Again, talking about a while ago, the Sonny G thing. Be the best Sonny G I can be. But that was a song he would sing to himself to try to calm his nerves. Anyway, it's on the album. I guess you had to watch it.
Yeah.
But the introduction here, the ramblings introduction of the Art Group's podcast is here, and thanks for taking a minute or 15 or 20 or however many we've done.
I feel like it's been about an hour.
And we're probably bumping 30 minutes here, and that's cool. But let's wrap it up and see where this thing goes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Any closing thoughts?
Not really. I mean, just that. I don't know. We just trying to get this launched and out there, and it's been difficult so far. I mean, we've not exactly had too much exposure, and Dad's too worried about marketing.
Well, I want to say it's an honor. It's I want to use more explicit language, but it's freaking awesome to do this, and I thank you, my son, for doing this. And hey, let's go have fun with it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Signing off. Peace out. Peace and love.